Hello everyone, this is Will from Apple 121. Thank you for joining us for this episode. Today we're going to talk about widgets, and what we're going to focus on the iPhone specifically is how you create a full screen full of widgets and some of the cool little things you could do to get around some of the limitations, I would say, of doing this. So we're going to focus on the screen here in front of me, and I'm already showing you an example of what I created. This is actually for my work. I'm actually using a focus mode. If I swipe down, I'm actually inside of a focus mode right here. So if I go to work and I turn that off, it will now show you my normal screen layout. And I created a screen specifically for work, so I'm going to turn the focus mode back on. And the idea of this focus mode is that I wanted to have more widgets available for me, but also create more of a screen full of widgets. And I'm going to recreate this right now. So how we're going to do that is we're going to create a new screen. So I'm just going to go to the search here. And now we have a blank canvas. So on the top left corner, there is an edit button, and now it allows me to add a widget. So I'm going to go to add widget. And now we're going to start working with what I do every day here at work. And that way you get an idea of what I like to use on a daily basis. So let's first off is while I'm at work, I need to have access to my calendar. So I'm going to tap on the calendar in here. And it has a choice of how I want to add it. So what do I want to put on here? Well, I like the list idea. Actually, that's not a bad idea. But let's just go for sake of having as many as I can on one screen. I'm going to just tap on this one right here, which is the up next one. I'm going to hit add widget. If I just tap on this, it says I can mirror the calendar app or hide all day events if I want to. That's up to me. Also, I can just use the corner and I can actually drag this down. So there's like a little dragger down here. What that does, it makes it longer, so I can add this around and do something different. So you can see that I have a whole bunch of items right here on the list. It adds a little more, but we're going to keep it smaller. Let's go to edit and let's make another widget. So I'm going to do Slack, but if I tap on Slack, it now gives me an option of what Slack do I want to do. And this is about status. To be honest, I don't like the status feature. I don't use it too much in Slack, but I do want to have it. So I'm going to add widget, and now it adds Slack here. Let's now go add another one, and we're going to keep going around here. So let's go to add widget. Another one I like to use is my Chrome, because Chrome actually has a type URL feature in here, and I use Chrome a lot at work. So again, I have all these different options of what I want to do, and I'm going to just go to, search for type URL. Let's go ahead and put that one there. And let's go to edit, and I'm going to go to add widget. And let's do mail, because mail is very important. Now, mail is a little more interesting. I'm going to blur out just a little bit of information here, but the way that Mailbox works here is that its only option is this long one or the short one. I'm going to hit add widget, and you can make this longer or shorter, but it may not be what you want. I can't shorten it either, which is a little bit weird with the Mail app. So that's a little bit weird that I could do. But if I tap on it, I can also choose what mailbox I want. So I just tap on choose mailbox, and I'm going to do my work one. So that's my work inbox. So now we're just seeing my work inbox only. That's it. So that way it doesn't do all my VIPs. So now it's sit there, and then we're going to add one more widget to fill this out. And I do like to have the weather available to me, so I'm going to use weather and hit add widget, and now we have completed my widget list. So if I hit done, now we have my widget set up. Now if you notice on the other screens, let's go back to my original screen here, you notice I have some apps here that instead, maybe I don't want to have the full mail available to me, or maybe I want to have additional apps here that I might find useful instead of having more than one page. So I could do that. So for example, for mail, I don't like seeing the actual inbox. I don't think it's necessary to see that. So what I want to do is I'm going to actually tap on it. And there's a bunch of icons here, and on the top left is a 4-square icon with a black top left square. If I tap on that, it now creates it as an app. Now, what's really interesting about what I just did, I'm going to show you an example of that. I'm going to actually turn this off. If you notice on this main screen, the Mail app is right here, and the Mail app is also on other pages. It's over here on this page. It's over here on this page. How am I able to have so many Mail apps available to me all the time. And it's even available on my other screens, as you can see here. So I can have the Mail app multiple times for different screen layouts, which is really powerful, I think, if you want to create your own setup for your own thing. And especially that I'm doing this for work only. This is a work only screen. I'll see it on other pages, but I don't necessarily want to see it. Let's hold down my finger and then we'll go to edit again. Let's add another widget. Let's go to notes. And again, your choices of notes, how you want to do that. I'm going to hit that. Now, what doesn't want any closes here? Just want to point that out. So, and we're going to go to edit. As you can see, as I hold my finger down, I can go and make the notes section just a app again. So the same idea now is that if I just want to open up notes, it'll go directly to my notes. So pretty powerful stuff here. So the idea of this is that you could have a full screen full of widgets only if you wanted to. And of course you can make multiple pages. I am starting to find that I don't really utilize the whole app layout anymore where there is multiple things. And honestly, and something we've talked about in previous episodes is we talked about how different focus modes can have different setups. So like when I go to my wedding focus mode, you can see this is my wedding focus mode. It's a different layout, a different completely separate layout than my work one. If I go to wedding and I go to work, I'm going to turn wedding off, turn on work. And now you can see I have a different setup here. And if I go to search and I hold down my finger, so if I go to options, you can go inside of the focus mode and decide on what pages you want to see or what you don't want to see. So as an example, inside of the customized screens right now, the way I have this set up is I only have certain pages. So you have to go through, and I would set up many, many different layouts because you could use one layout for one thing and one layout for another thing. It really all depends. You can see here, I have a whole bunch of pages here that I use, and you can create your own pages. You can create a brand new one or choose one that you've already created. So you want to go through and just make a bunch of these and have these widgets available to you. It's very powerful stuff that you could do just for certain things, certain modes, certain situations. And in this case, when I'm working, the more important things that I want are available to me here on this screen. So I hope this was very valuable to you to learn how to use widgets, add them to your screen, but also how to minimize them and also just have way different layouts here. And personally, the way I set this one up, the way I have it now is very valuable to me and it makes it easy. And in fact, I have an open spot right down here for something else, which I haven't decided yet. But this is extremely valuable to have your widgets set up here. In fact, I find it more valuable than swiping to the left and doing this layout over that. So I hope you guys learned something new from this video. I hope you guys took something away. Please like and subscribe our content. I really do appreciate it. And I love every single one of you.